Hey everybody, it's Christopher Small, the Unconventional Attorney. Today, I want to specialize if you are in a small town. Before I get to that though, I want to remind you, if you have not even checked out, if you certainly haven't joined the world's best group of law firm owners, if you are interested in making more money, working less, living a great life, doing all of the things, then I would encourage you to go out and check out the sanctuary at lawyersanctuary.com. It's a group that I put together specifically for law firm owners, and it's amazing and it's relatively cheap. So go check it out, lawyersanctuary.com. It's great. But I wanted to get to today's topic was messaged to me and emailed to me by someone. Thank you, and I apologize for not answering your message quickly enough. I figured if one person was asking this question, then multiple people were probably asking this question, and it's a good question because it's, I think, pretty. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not a good idea to practice to be a specialist in a small town. There just simply is not enough work, and to suggest otherwise would not be fair on my part. And this goes back, by the way, to my whole idea, my whole philosophy that what's best for you, the person that's listening to this right now, what your path should be is probably not the same as anyone else's path. There may be some similarities from person to person, but everybody has their own different idea of what a great law firm is. They have a different idea of what a great life is. And until you start at the end, it's impossible for you to know what you need to do right now. Because to just decide that you want to make seven figures is stupid. Okay. So if right now your goal is to make $1 million with your law firm and that's it, then please take a moment and think about what you're going to do with that $1 million. Think about how much it costs to do what you actually want to do with your life, and then back in from there. Okay, but I digress. So I was thinking about this as it was rattling around in my brain. The way I think about this is, what would I do if I was just dropped in a small town? How would I approach this? How would I try to become, great in this small town? And I would probably do one of two. I would do one of two things. And I probably would do this first thing is what I would do. I would try to identify an ideal client, and then I would try to also identify the things that they need to do all the time, and then I would market those services on that basis. So for example, if I was in a rural community with a lot of farmers, a lot of I'm from Kansas. Okay, so we got a lot of two things. A lot of wheat farmers, like a lot of crops, but we also have a lot of cattle farmers. They're not ranchers, but there's people with a lot of livestock, right? So I would probably think about like this: what are the problems that they are encountering on a daily basis, and how can I offer services that would give them sort of like a full service flavor? Okay, and then the other things that would pop in, you just handle those on a one-off basis, or you refer those out to somebody that specializes in those kinds of things. So for example, you might have an attorney, because there are two ways that you could go here. You could go the farmer route, right, where you're focused on like ag law and business law and contracts and land law, these kinds of things, and on one side. And you could also be the city attorney though in that rural area, and you could focus on car accidents and DUIs and divorce and those kinds of things. The fact is, not to sort of poo-poo small towns. I'm from a small town myself, and some would consider it a big town. My hometown only has about 25 or 30,000 people in it, so it's a small town, right? What you are going to find though in a small town is that the problems that people have when it comes to divorce or car accidents or DUIs or anything like that, they're going to be very similar. Like very, very rarely in a town of 30,000 people are you going to be doing a divorce with, $10 million in assets. It just doesn't happen. Okay. I mean, you may have a lot of land to split up and a lot of things to do that are interesting, but you're not going to necessarily have to deal with some of these more complicated problems. And that's a good thing. That's what allows you to generalize a little bit, but you don't want too general. You don't want to try to be everything to everybody. Because if you can corner the market on farmers, for example, you're probably going to be make enough money to do well. If you are the city attorney, then that brings in, and I can tell you this. Here's another thing that I just thought about this. I'm stupid. My first job was as a small town lawyer in a small town, even smaller than Junction City, which is where I'm from. I was an attorney in Ottawa, Kansas. So go Google that. Ottawa, Kansas, I think has like 15,000, 10,000 people maybe. It's a nice little town, but it is tiny. And the attorneys that I worked with, they represented the school board, and they represented the city, and they represented the bank, right? So there's another thing that you can do there. You can sort of be like the government attorney there, you know. So you can do a couple of different things. There are a couple of different options when you are working in a small town. However, I would still suggest that you niche down, that you specialize by client type, by the type of work that you're going to do, by the type of client that you're trying to attract. It will also help you figure out where you ag law, for example. It might be nice if you. By the way, so this is an example of exactly what I would do. Actually, you can't do it right now, although you can in a small town because they're probably not doing social distancing as strictly as they are like in Seattle where I am. I would, if I was in a small town and I was doing ag, I probably would pick the farmers because I think they're fun. They're like, salt of the earth. They don't mess around, right? And they probably come up with some fun things to work on. So what I would do is once a month, maybe even once a week, I would just post up at the local diner and I would be like, look, any of you that want to come in and ask me questions, come on in. Just get in line or we'll chat as a group. We'll just talk about what's going on in the landscape of farming and the law and the things that you need to think about. There are always different subsidies changing. There are always all these different things that you need to know about. And I would soon become the attorney for all the farmers that are in the area. They couldn't help it because they're coming to ask me for advice all the time. All right. That's what I do. The second thing, by the way, there's three options actually. So the second thing that I would do, or I would consider doing, you're going to have some cooperation on this one, which is why it's going to be tough. I would still try to just become niche in one thing. And it might be like just driving. So like doing personal, like car accidents, DUIs, traffic tickets, things like that. I would try to become that person and then get all of the attorneys in the area to refer their business to me because I'm the best, right? And then I would set up referral fee arrangements with everybody and I would kick that stuff back to them. Okay, so that's option number 2. And then this is probably like this last thing is option 1A and option 2A. So I would do this thing as I was doing those two things, one of those two things that I just talked about. And that is I would be talking and getting to know all of the other attorneys in the area. And I would be offering to purchase anybody's firm that wants to retire. Figure out some way to sort of like pay them off over time. They will subsidize it so that they can have like a sort of like a retirement account. But I would be doing that as well. And I would just try to become the only law firm in town at the same time. I would just try to buy everybody up or run everybody out of town. And so it's me, the farmer attorney, and there's like another law firm that's like the city, the city attorney kind of a thing. So those are things that I would do. And, it might take a little bit of time to get on track, but that's 100% what I would do. And I totally understand the hesitation to try to focus on estate planning only, for example, right? But here's the thing. When it comes to those farmers, same thing. You got estate planning, you have business succession, you have business, you have land use, right? You're going to be coming across some of those things all the time. Bankruptcy, you become good at do a one farm bankruptcy and you probably know how to do all of them. So that's it. All right. If you like this video, as always, please hit the like button. If you know someone that needs to hear this, please share it with them. If you have a question or comment, please leave it. And if you are not a part of the world's greatest group of law firm owners in the world, please go and check out lawyersanctuary.com. Not only do we talk about how to do things like specialize in a small town, I will actually show you how to do it step by step. The goal in the sanctuary is to get everybody to make more money, to work less, to love their life, to have a great time. Okay, so lawyersanctuary.com. It's cheap, it's fun, there's great people in there, and would love to have you come in and check it out. Okay, that's it. I'm Christopher Small. I'm the Unconventional Attorney. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you again soon. See ya.